Hi guys! Today we are going to work on unknown angles. So our learning target is I can figure out the measurement of missing or unknown angles. So to begin, I want to take a look at our anchor chart today. When we are working with unknown angles, we're going to be looking at adjacent angles, which is when two angles share a common side. So here we have angle ABC and angle DEF. If we put those two angles together, they would share this common side. They fit perfectly next to each other. So then we would call them adjacent angles. Here's another example. Here we have angle JKL, which is a straight line. Remember, a straight line is actually a type of angle. It's a straight angle. So we have angle JKL. Inside of that, we have angle JKM, which measures 130 degrees, and angle MKL, which measures 50 degrees. Those are adjacent angles because when we put them both together and add them up, they equal 180 degrees. So they both share these common sides right here, okay? 130 plus 50 is 180. So there's another example. Sometimes we have to figure out what the missing measure is. So here we see a question mark, and then the adjacent angle measures 75 degrees. So I have to figure out what my missing measure is. I know the whole angle is 180 degrees because a straight angle from here all the way around is 180 degrees. I also know this part is 75. So therefore, I can just subtract. I can take 180 degrees, subtract this 75 that they told me, and I get 105. So my missing measure has to be 105 degrees. So I also might have to write an equation to represent what's happening with a missing measure. To do that, I simply replace the question mark with my variable, which is x. So I could say x plus 75 is 180, or 180 minus x is 75, or what I did to solve it, I could simply say 180 minus 75 equals x. Guys, when you're working today, look back at this anchor chart for examples and different strategies to find those missing measures. Let's do some examples together. Okay, so in this example, I have one angle right here, and inside of it, I see two separate angles. They share a common side, so I know they're adjacent angles. I know this angle is 30 degrees, but I don't know what angle A measures. So I'm going to start with what I know. I recognize this bigger angle has a square. That means it's a right angle. I know a right angle measures 90 degrees. I also know that this angle measures 30 degrees. All I have to do is subtract to figure out what angle A measures. 90 minus 30 is 60 degrees. Therefore, A has to equal 60 degrees. 60 is less than 90, so this angle is an acute angle. I could write that as an equation. I could say, let's see, 90 minus 30, in this case, equals A. Let's look at another example. Okay, this time they are asking what kind of angle is formed when the two angles are put together. What is its measure? So this time they gave us both of the adjacent angles measures. They're adjacent because they share a common side. But they want to know what kind of angle. Oh, well, I know that if I add these, especially since we just did a problem like this, 60 plus 30 is 90. I know a 90-degree angle is always a right angle. So I would say this is a right angle with a measure of 90 degrees. So I can use what I already know about angles to answer this question. Let's look at another example. What kind of angle is formed when the two angles are put together? What is its measure? Okay, again, they told us both measures. So it says when the two angles are put together. Put together is fancy for add. So I'm going to add 110 degrees to 70 degrees. When I add that, I get 180 degrees. Hopefully you recognize that measurement and also the shape of that angle. Guys, that's our straight angle. It makes a straight line. So a straight angle is formed with measure 180 degrees. They gave us that degree symbol, so I don't think you guys will have to enter that when you're doing your work today. Okay, let's look at another example. All right, it says an angle is made from two angles, all right, with measures 90 and 20. So I'm going to do some visualizing here. I'm visualizing an angle that is made up of a 90-degree angle and a 20-degree angle. So I'm just kind of sketching it. It's really not perfect, but oh, maybe I should make that. It's not the eraser. Come on, eraser. Good grief. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So here's my 90 degree, and then here's my, I think a 20 degree would be about like that. Use an equation to find x, the measure of the whole angle. Oh, so I'm trying to figure out how much this whole angle would measure. So this one is 90 degrees. This one is 20 degrees. I just need to put together the two angles. So I would do 90 plus 20 equals x. Let's look at our choices and see if that's correct. 90 plus x equals 20. That doesn't make sense. X plus 20 equals 90. Nope, doesn't make sense. 90 plus 20 equals x. Well, that's what we wrote, so maybe. 90 minus 20 equals x. That doesn't make sense. It has to be C. Guys, do you see how drawing a picture helps me figure this question out? As you work today, make sure you have a scratch piece of paper where you can draw pictures just like this one to really help you out. Now we're going to solve. The measure of the whole angle is, well, I just need to do 90 plus 20. 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 2 is 11. 110 degrees. Again, they've given me my degree symbol, so I don't have to find it on the computer. Okay. All right, guys, that is your work for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Couple reminders, you should not have to enter a degree symbol. It should already be there. And use your anchor chart while you are working. And also keep a piece of paper and a pencil next to you so that you can draw these angles as you go. Email me with any questions. Bye, guys.